Greetings, Iain from RTO here, and welcome to another classic album review. And today we have got a classic. It's one of them albums that everyone should have, and it's a triple album by a certain Mr. George Harrison called All Things Must Pass. This was the third album by George Harrison, and it's his first solo work after the breakup of the Beatles, of course. This album features so many people. Eric Clapton's on this, some members of Derek and the Dominoes, members of Delaney and Bonnie's Friends Band, Ringo Starr's on here, Gary Wright, Billy Preston, Klaus Vorderman, John Barnum, Badfinger and Peter Drake. There's so many people on here. Apparently, even Phil Collins turned up to do a session on here, but he never played on. He recorded, but he never got credited and was never put on the album. But other people on here are girls. So we've got Alan White, the late Alan White from Yes. Peter Frampton plays on here. Tony Ashton. Gary Brooker's on piano. Ginger Baker's drums on I Remember Jeep. John Lennon is on hand claps on I Remember Jeep. So is Yoko Ono. So you got the only member of the Beatles we're missing on this is Paul McCartney, but you've got some great people on this album. Terrific album. It was recorded at Abbey Road as well, of course, and it came out in 1970. So the first track on here is a lovely little track called I'd Have You Anytime. Written by Harrison and Bob Dylan. It's just so chilled, isn't it? Yeah, there's a lovely guitar solo on here. I don't know who plays, I don't know if it's George or Eric, but at the end of the day, it's great. It's a lovely track, and I really like that one. And then, of course, we got the brilliant My Sweet Lord, one of the best tracks of the 70s. I just love that guitar solo on it. My favourite track on this album. I know everyone loves this, but it's one of those tracks everyone loves it because it is such a brilliant track. Just love that. Then we get Wah Wah. God, this sounds so Sergeant Pepper's. The orchestral piece, it's just got some great guitar work in it as well, and it's just a brilliant track. That's all I can say. I love that track. Then we get Isn't It a Pity version number 1. I think sometimes you forget how much influence George Harrison had with the Beatles, because it's always been John and Paul, but when you listen to this you go, yes, George did have a lot of input. It's a really good track, and I love George's vocal on this. It is terrific. So that was side 1, so let's go and have a look at side 2. Side 2 starts off with What Is Life? The great guitar riff on this at the beginning, and that bass line. Oh, absolutely brilliant. And then we get If Not For You, written by a certain Mr. Bob Dylan. Again, a chilled out track. You can imagine them just so chilled out doing this. Hey man, this just groove, and again, I love it. The guitar work on that is great. Really nice song. Next track, Behind That Locked Door. What a bass groove this has got. But it's an easy going track again. It's just so laid back. They're almost laying on the floor recording this. I'm sure it's such a great track. Then we get Let It Down, a great little track. It's progressive, it's hippie, it's got some great guitar licks on it, amongst all the other instruments that seem to get onto this. And normally, when you get so many different sort of instruments, it sounds terrible, but this doesn't. It's just, I think it's just a song of the time. Everyone just chill out and play. Run of the Mill, one of my favourite acoustics songs on here. It's got a lovely vocal from George, and the strings really are good on this. You can listen to that track time and time again. Beware of Darkness, great song. It's just one of, it could have appeared on a Beatles album. You can imagine the Beatles actually doing this. It's one of George's great tracks. We're on side 3 now, by the way. And then we get Apple Scruffs. It's just one of them tracks again. You can imagine them all just sitting around, just picking up the instruments and playing, and the harmonica's great on this. Wonderful little track. One of my favourites, without a doubt. Then we get this, one of them lovely little title tracks, the Ballad of Sir Frankie Crisp, Let It Roll. Guitar work on this is great. It's such, again, this is such a relaxed album. It's just got chill out albums, one of the great chill out albums. Love that track. Awaiting You All. This is one of the upbeat tracks on the album. It's great. Change of tempo, but it's all good. Then we get the title piece called All Things Must Pass. Some great guitar effects on this. When you listen to this on headphones, it just takes you into another dimension. It's an amazing track. It's one of them you must listen to under the headphones, without doubt. So that was the end of side 3. Side 4 starts with I Dig Love. A brilliant bass line, drums are great. I don't know who drums on this. It's too hard to work out. It's just pretty good. Then we get The Art of Dying. Lots of guitar, wah-wah, horns. A little bit different, but it's still damn good. Isn't it a pity this is version 2? This is a little bit more stripped down, and I actually prefer this version. Both good songs, but this is my favourite version of the song. Hear Me Lord, my second favourite track on this album. Superb. Great vocal from George, as ever. Then we get side 5, and it's in brackets, it's called the Apple Jam. That starts off with a track called Out of the Blue. This is the longest track on the album at 11 minutes and 14 seconds. It rocks. Great riffs. I just wonder if this is an improv session, just a bit of fun, and it ended up on the album. It's just brilliant. I don't know how this was put together, but was it one of them unique plug in and go and see where it goes situations? Terrific track. Then we get 49 seconds of total weirdness called Johnny. It's Johnny's birthday. Yeah. Wonder what influenced that. Then we get a track called Plug Me In. Great rock track. Great riffs. Just great rock. Then we get on to the final side, side 6. I Remember Jeep. This has got Ginger Baker on again. It's a little bluesy jam, and some superb claps from John Lennon and Yoko Ono. Yeah, it's just nice that John's there doing something. Then we get another track I love the title of, Thanks for the Pepperoni. It's 5 minutes jam again. Again, I don't think this is a track that's put down and have studied it. I think this is just go and chill and jam. And that's what I like about this album. You don't know how much of this album is actually written, or they just go to the studio and record. That was the last track on this brilliant album. This is just a brilliant album, isn't it? Everything you need. Rockers, chill out tracks, hippie, amazing guitar licks, great lyrics. It's an album that every rock person should have. It's just one of those magic albums. And when you put it on, it's a long album, but I can't just listen to one side of this. If I put this album on, we put it on and we play the whole damn thing. I mean, when I listened to this again just to do this, it was just great. I sat there, I think it was on a Sunday afternoon. I sort of got some cricket on, so I just turned the sound down, watched the cricket, because it was actually on watching Northamptonshire Steelbacks on their channel on YouTube. Put this on, so I was watching a bit of cricket and listening to this album, and I loved it. It was a brilliant way to spend a Sunday. All the things must pass. I mean, it did so well as an album. It got to #1 in Australia, Canada, Holland, Norway, Spain, Sweden, UK, and the US. The reviews it got: All Music 5 stars, Blender 5 stars. The worst one was Christian Ragu's Record Guide gave it a C. Encyclopedia of Popular Music gave it 4. Mojo gave it 5. Rolling Stone give it 4 and a bit. Well, that's about right. Q gave it 5. So it went down an absolute storm everywhere. It's still a great album. People still talk about it. I mean, also we've got gold in Canada, gold in Denmark, gold in the United Kingdom, and platinum 7 times in America. What an album. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking. I think you've guessed it. A big 10. Because it is just an amazing album. Okay, that's all for today. Look out for some more Beatle sort of shows. We've got a few coming up. But tomorrow we have got a viewer's request. And we're going to look at the albums of the Jam. And then we've got a retro ranking special tomorrow. We are looking at the Marillion songs, them songs that weren't on the albums, mostly the B-sides. And talking of retro ranking specials, Monday the 8th of August there is a special. It's a special show, an extra one for the Monday the 8th of August, and it's Simple Minds Top 10 with a very special guest in the co-captain's chair, whatever you want to call it. Someone that I've done on his channel, so this is the first time he's been on RTO, so we'll wish a warm welcome on the 8th to Richard McCook, and we'll be looking at our favourite Simple Minds songs. Looking forward to that one. It's been a little while since I've done something with Richard, but it's my turn to host, so that'll be interesting. So I will see you all tomorrow for the Jam and Marillion. Have a great day, everyone. Bye for now.